Hey guys, welcome back to another Spruce News video. So as you can see from the title, today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different, doing something different on my channel. So one thing that's been requested quite frequently at the moment is for me to do more personal videos. This isn't something I necessarily do quite a lot. I find that these videos can be either loved or hated by a lot of people. They are very intense, especially if it's something that's quite personal to you or is a personal topic to a lot of people. So I do tiptoe around a lot of personal videos, and it's not that I don't want to do them, I just find that if I don't articulate myself in the right way, they can come across as quite bad. And for me, I'm very conscious that everyone has their own opinion on certain subjects, and I love to share my opinion, but I also know when not to share it. So I always bear that in mind, but this topic itself is quite a big one for me. I have personally been through this, and I thought it's something that I could share with you today, and not necessarily share this is my life story, but more of, you know, how to spot a toxic person and what you can do afterwards. And I think it's a bit more of a motivational message to you guys if you're going through this right now, that you can get through it. It's not easy, but you can get through it, and you know, it's a very difficult thing to go through. It's quite draining, and it's really quite tough. So I wanted to discuss it today. So there are a few factors I think that you have of how you can spot a toxic person, or how someone is toxic to you. And when I say toxic, because I find that that is such a strong word, but it's someone that is, they're not necessarily a bad person. I mean, yeah, there are some people that are bad people and they are toxic to you, but they're not always necessarily a bad person. It's just that they're not right for you. They're not good for you as a person. Your relationship is broken, or there's something seriously wrong with that relationship because of the way you are with each other. So a toxic relationship or a toxic person could be anyone. It could be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your parents, your brothers, your sister, your cousins, your friends. It could be your co-workers. I mean, toxic people could be anyone, and it's just how you navigate around that and make the wisest decisions that are right for you. So for me, a toxic person to me, in my own personal life, my own personal opinion, is someone that will drag me down, someone that will constantly make me feel worse than better. I also find that a toxic person is someone that doesn't enable you to grow. Like a great friend to me, a great partner to me, a great family member to me is someone that will build me up and will push me to be a better person. And someone who is toxic will stop that. It's like they're a stopper to me being a better person. And as soon as I realise that, I remove them from my life, because they are not making me better. They are making me a worse person. Thirdly, someone who is extremely negative, and we all go through these motions of being really down, really negative, really quite hateful about ourselves or other people. We all moan, we all have bad days, but someone who sees only the negative in everything, like there is never anything positive. So for me, a toxic person to me is someone that makes me feel negative. And it's not easy to be a positive person. It's not easy to always see the positives in everything. I mean, we all know that is extremely difficult. However, if there is someone in your life that consistently makes you feel negative about everything, you could be in a good mood, but then they'll see the negative in something which will bring your mood down. They are toxic for you, because they are not lifting you up. They are not making you feel positive and having a more positive outlook on life, and that to me is toxic. Fourth thing I would say is someone that damages my self-esteem. Someone that will constantly be picking at me and you're not even realising. Like, I've been in many different circumstances where a friend has, or a boyfriend has, you know, they constantly pick at you, pick at things that are bad, or they see as bad about you, and it's just because they're being hateful and spiteful on themselves that they will take it out on you. And I have experienced that, and I was at a point when I was in my early 20s where my self-esteem was so low, and it was because of other people, and I allowed that to happen to me. I allowed them to do that to me because I was not realising what was going on, what the situation was, because it was very gradual. But all those things add up, all those things build up, and they build up and they build up, and you kind of get to a point where your self-esteem is so low. So you need someone, you need people around you. You need to surround yourself with people who will build you up, as I said. And everything leads towards that. Every single thing leads towards making you a better person, building you up, and then making you essentially happier. And there's been two pinnacle moments in my life where I decided to completely change my outlook on things. And it's not been easy, and I'm not the perfect person. Like, yeah, I moan, I've been negative, I've been hateful about people, I've said spiteful things. I know I'm not a perfect human, but I also know where I've gone wrong. And I think at the moment I've been so stressed about a lot of different things over the last few weeks that I've really taken today and stepped back to reflect. And that is so important, I think, for anyone who's going through any situation in their life that's maybe not necessarily good, is to take that moment, step back and reflect upon it. And I know the last few weeks I've been moaning, I have been extremely negative, and you know, a few of my friends have kind of felt the brunt of that, and I feel so bad. But you don't realise you're being that way until you reflect upon it. But it's doing that sooner rather than later. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be that toxic friend to my friends. I don't want to be that, because I love my friends dearly, and I know they're there for me, and I know that they're there to support me, and I know that they're there to help build me up. I am dragging them down by being negative. So I need to personally take myself out of that frame of mind and fix my own situation, to then go back to them, thank them, and appreciate them as for people for who they are, like for Gary for who he is constantly supporting me. And I need to become a better person. I need to constantly build on that. And so there was two pinnacle moments for me where I completely changed. The first one was when my niece passed away 6 years ago, and she was 9 years old. And for me, for my family, it was a huge moment for us. It was completely devastating, and even now when I think about it, it breaks my heart. But it's those moments, it's sad to say, it took something that huge, forced me to reflect on what I was doing with my life and who was in my life at that moment. That grieving process that I went through with my family to get through that time enabled me to firstly be a stronger person, secondly to realise that I was surrounding myself with the wrong people. Not people that were there for me, that cared for me, that would always want to be by my side, but people that was making my situation worse, that was utilising that situation that I was in to make them feel better and to make them feel like they're a better friend. But in actual fact, it was more for them and not to be there for me, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So that was a huge moment for me. So when my niece passed away, I realised I wasn't living my life to its full potential. And even now, I still don't feel like I am. Like, I'm still not where I want to be. I'm still not where I need to be, but I'm getting there. And because I've realised that. And I cut out so many people from my life from that point. And then the second time was also 6 years ago, when I decided to move with Gary, and I wanted to work in London and he lived this way, and I made a decision to uplift my life and move where he was. And I didn't have any friends there, I didn't know anybody, but I made the decision to start fresh. And I had all my family, but obviously they lived like over 100 and odd miles away, so they weren't anywhere near me really. But I made a decision that I felt was right for me and felt that I needed to do it. And I cut out so many people at that point of my life as well, because they were dragging me down. I had friends that would bitch about me and make me feel bad, and pretend like it was okay for them to do that. And I loved them so much. They were like my closest friends. I didn't realise until I moved what my self-worth was, and that I actually didn't need to be their friend anymore. Because if they didn't love and respect me, then why are they in my life, sort of thing. So I completely started afresh. It was so difficult for me to move here, and I really did struggle for the first like 6 months because I didn't have a job. I didn't know anybody. I felt really isolated. It did put a lot of pressure on Gary because he didn't really feel like he could do anything, because he was constantly having to be there for me because I didn't know anyone. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a relationship that was so young, but we have only become stronger, and he is like such an amazing man. He is there for me. He has my back. He constantly supports me and pushes me to be better, and that's the type of person that I need in my life, not someone that would drag me down. Now I'm 28 years old. I can count my close friends on probably one hand. I know who's there for me. I know who loves me. I know who supports me. I know who has my back. I know who wants to see me thrive and be better. And I'm so happy for that, because without those pinnacle moments in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. And yes, I'm still not where I want to be, but I am far from where I came from, which is, it speaks volumes. It really, really does. And for you personally, obviously to you, that probably doesn't mean anything, but for me, it means everything. That was a huge, huge moment for me. But then it also made me realise what I don't want. So I don't want people that stress me out in my life. I don't want someone that would bring and drag me down. I don't want to stoop to other people's levels. And I felt like when I was younger, I did that a lot because I was conforming. Because I had a friendship group, and when you're in that group you tend to copy. It is just a thing, like you copy what each other wears and how each other acts and reacts, and like your own banter. And you know, I wasn't a really nice person, and looking back, I don't like who I used to be. Like, I love how I am now because I've grown so much. I have grown up so much, and yes, I've also aged, but I've also developed, and I know what's right for me, what's wrong for me. I know how to respect people and love people and cherish them and appreciate them more than ever before. I think the one thing you need to consider when you're removing toxic people from your life, it's never going to be easy, and there's always certain steps that you need to take that's right for you. It's hard to get rid of those people. It is hard to cut people out of your life because, you know, when you do it, life doesn't feel right without them. But at the same time, it's your life. You need to do what's right for you, what's good for you, what makes you feel better, not what other people expect of you. Don't let people stress you out. Don't surround yourself with negativity. Don't stoop to levels where you know you're doing wrong, but you think that it's right because everyone else is doing it. Don't let people knock your self-esteem. Only surround yourself with people that help you grow, and find your own happiness. Don't expect other people to make you happy. You need to find what makes you happy, and then everything will be fine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's more of a heartfelt, you know, personal, very talkative type video, and I do waffle, so I apologise. But I hope this does help, and I hope that you can gain some inspiration or gain some advice from this. And I'm not very good at these types of videos, so I apologise, but I think reflecting on your life is essential for growth. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.